Welcome back. It is that time of year again. It is our 11th annual Best and Worst of. I am Chris Niccolls, and I'm joined by
the returning champion, Jordan Drake.
Yeah, you had to throw that in there. So if you haven't seen the last 10 episodes of this is our annual time where we talk about the gear that we think did the best, the gear that we think did the worst. Now, of course, every year has become a tradition to do some friendly, not so friendly.
It's shifted definitely the tone over the last decade plus.
Competitive drinking games between us where we try to each assert our dominance over each other. You won last year, and
the year before, if I recall correctly.
Okay, I still haven't.
I don't know. Someone's going to have to check the score.
I still haven't let that go. And so we have some games planned. It's going to be fun, but we also do a signature drink. And so this year we're going to do something a little bit more. It's become one of our favorites. Hey, a cocktail.
We travel quite a bit.
And you could call it a highball.
Some would call it, if you were at a bar, you'd be like, I'd like a highball. They'd say, what do you want in it? But not in one place.
Yes.
Japan, where you say, I want a highball, and they say, oh, you'd like some Japanese whiskey mixed with soda water with a little bit of lemon on top.
So you know what? I think that's time. Let's go make our signature drink. We're also going to have a word from our sponsor before we get into it. And yeah, you're watching PetaPixel. It's going to be a fun one.
Hey, it's a far more rested and much better spoken Jordan Drake, and I am putting together a 40-minute video about a couple of goofballs playing drinking games. I mean, I'm gonna need some great music to set this apart, and that's where one of the wonderful new tools from audio is really gonna come into play. See, I'm not a huge fan of generative AI, but AI technology that makes potentially tedious tasks a lot easier, that I am all about, and that's why I was delighted to see Audio's new tool, Hans. So Hans is an AI-based assistant, and you can just type in a prompt for the kind of scene that you're looking for music for, and it will give you multiple options brought from Audio's expansive music library. In fact, just for this episode, I typed in quirky old-time music for inebriated hosts and found something absolutely perfect. Or how about tense music for relentless competition? My buddy Hans was able to offer some great suggestions that fit perfectly in this project, and again, saved me a ton of time. And I love that when using Hans to find great music, I'm still supporting the artists who actually created the music that I'm using in my project. And we got an awesome deal for you as well. If you want to try out Hans, you're going to need an Audio Pro subscription. Fortunately, we're offering you one at 70% off for the first year. Just click the link in the description below and use the coupon code PetaPixel for 70% off and find out what my buddy Hans can do for you.
Okay, so as Jordan stated, in Japan, a highball or haiboru is basically just a whiskey and soda. But that's exactly what we're going to do here. We've got some Suntory Toki. Jordan insisted on buying Japanese whiskey for this. Toki is not one of my favorites.
It's all they had.
Yeah, great, fine. It's no Nika, that's for sure. But you know, this is a haiboru. It doesn't have to be a tasty, you're going to water down anyways.
You're welcome.
And yeah, thank you very much, Jordan. You will get all the credit that you deserve and everything that's coming to you. Where the is my ice?
I hope taking ice out isn't one of the challenges.
So last year it was our 10th anniversary, and so we wanted to go big. So our friends at Toolshed Brewing Company let us go in there. They made us ribs. They gave us all this beer. It was fantastic. We still really appreciate that, and you should watch it. It was a fun episode. But for this 11th year, we actually wanted to return to our roots because, you know, Best and Worst stuff started just as house parties, you know, at the time in my apartment and then in the house and at Jordan's house and just casual hanging out, having fun. And so we're kind of returning to that more simple feel of simpler times. And for simpler times, think Suntory times.
So because you were absolutely trounced last year, I said, Chris, you know what? Why don't you come up with the games and then you can surprise me with them and then you've got like a little bit of a chance at victory this year.
Wow. You know, for you to throw that in to preempt a possible victory and then have that as an excuse for why I won is just
win-win for me, baby.
Anyways, you know what? I'm gonna go to a happier place. So first off, I want to thank Levi Holwell. He's always joined us here, operating cameras. Our good friend Alex Mitchell is normally the referee, but unfortunately COVID took him out. But like, he's just not.
He's out of the game.
He's not. Yeah, he's not out. He's fine.
Hey, PetaPixel viewers. Referee Alex Mitchell here. It should be obvious by now that there's a good reason I'm not going to be able to officiate the competition between Chris and Jordan this year, but I know that they're still going to be bringing their A game and having a lot of really interesting discussion and analysis. Enjoy the show, and with any luck, I'll see you folks in 2025.
So this year, Penny is going to be our referee, which means she's on my side. There's an advantage. That's why I'm going to win, right, Jordan? And let's get to our first game and then our first topic, which is going to be best zoom lens of 2024.
Game first. Where did these elegant boxes come from?
From a former employer, don't worry about it. So first game is going to be a game of the mind, because I figure we probably shouldn't be super wasted. And what we have here are 4 brands of cameras. I got Panasonic, Nikon, Canon, and OM system. And then we have the same brands of cameras behind here. It's going to be a classic guessing game. I'm going to set the order. Jordan's going to put out a guess. I'm going to tell him if he's got 0 right or 1 right or 3 or whatever. We're going to time it until he gets all 4 matched up. Okay, so this is going to be our first order here that we're going to set up for Jordan.
What's the order?
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. And then as soon as we have this going, I'm going to start the timer and go.
Okay, Nikon, ooh, this box is wobbly. Canon and OM.
2. 0. 1. 1. 1.
Go back there. Okay, and then.
All right, right now you have 1.
What?
1. You have none.
What? I don't understand.
This is where the panic sets in. None.
What?
1.
No, just mad.
Oh my God, this is 2.
2. Okay. So this can't be that. So, no. How about that?
Hey, you did it!
Hey, I did it.
109. 109. Not bad. Not bad. So it turns out that 2024 was a really good year for the zoom lens. We had lots of really interesting optics. Nikon made the 28-400, the return of the super zoom. Sigma's 28-45. Jordan loved that lens. Canon made a new 70-200 2.8 Z series. But there were 3 that really we felt were the best of the entire year, and I'm going to give you number 3. That's the Sigma 24-70 2.8 version 2 art series lens, because this really reasserted Sigma in that role of making a lens that competes with very expensive professional optics, gives you similar bokeh and similar sharpness, but for a lower price point, and that lens really blew us away. If you're shooting L mount or E mount, that's a fantastic option.
Yeah, if you're shooting E or L mount, that is an awesome standard zoom lens to pick up, but maybe in my opinion not quite as good as our second best, also made by Sigma, also a standard zoom. It's the 24-105 f2.8. Now we saw a similar lens announced by Canon a little while ago, but it was very video centric, very big. This is way less expensive, a lot smaller, and I was kind of skeptical, like how much of a difference is that extra 35 millimeters gonna make? And then I shot a wedding and I lived at 105 millimeters and it was wonderful. This is another innovative, outstanding optic from Sigma.
I mean, that's a pretty amazing accolade, considering that was the lens that cost Jordan a very bad sprained ankle.
It wasn't actually the lens's fault,
yeah,
it was the gopher.
Totally the lens's fault, and he still loved that experience, but not as much as the experience I had using the new Sony 28-70 f2G Master. So I love this particular focal length. I really liked the Canon one, the 28-70 f2. It was great, but it was a beast to carry around, very heavy. And honestly, G Master, the Sony, is even better. It's lighter weight, it's sharper, maybe even a little bit better optically corrected.
You got this.
Yeah. And it does have beautiful bokeh, which really makes use of that f2 aperture, even if it has a little bit of onion ringing in the specular highlight.
See, we do talk about the onion rings.
I forgot to mention. Anyways, beautiful lens, basically having a bag of really fast primes in one lens, and I really enjoyed the experience. Even though it's a niche product, I think it was a fantastic optic engineering achievement.
Okay, before we get to our next lens category, I think it's time for round 2, and I think this is quite a devious arrangement. Timer starts now, Chris. Go! Go! Da, 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 da. Oh, I guess we'll have better music. Oh, I have to stand over here.
Come on!
You have none.
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 Oh, interesting.
You just won. What the hell?
Oh, what? Yes.
Okay, so that was 26 seconds, less than half the time it took for me, so.
Okay, well, yes, you need to drink. And Penny did a great job telling me what the camera order was. That was fantastic. Good job, Penny.
How? What? Oh.
Well-trained dog.
No, wait, that's a dog. That doesn't make any sense. Congratulations, you did very well. You know who else did very well is a lot of the lens manufacturers with their prime optics this year.
That's very true.
I think we saw some really exciting ones, but we're only going to talk about the ones we saw because, you know, Canon, you might be in the running if you'd actually shipped us some of those fancy new video primes.
You bring up a good point that I just want to mention quickly. Remember, best and worst of is our opinions on stuff that we've basically used ourselves.
That we have tested.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So we got some big ones, right, Chris? What were some of the standouts for you?
Well, you know, I would say you have to mention the Tamron 90mm macro.
The return of a legend.
Beautiful lens. I loved it as a portrait lens. Proved to be very sharp, good macro capability, so that was really nice to see that return.
But for my secondary runner-up, third place, if you will, I'm going to give it to, what's this again? Sigma? With their 50mm f1.2. I mean, I was a huge fan of the G Master, and they made a big deal of like, look how small and light it is.
Yes.
But then again, just vastly undercutting what the first parties are doing. This is a much more affordable optic, beautiful optically. I would say it even had a little nicer bokeh than the other 51.2. Maybe the Nikon's pretty good too.
When you consider the price point,
it's way cheaper.
Yeah, it is. It is really fantastic. They really killed it this year.
And a 51.2 is one of those situations where I want that extremely fast autofocus motor because this thing could just hit eyes, and it was like a boxer. I don't like this allegory.
You should never. You're so violent. Okay, so speaking of things that make me want to punch you in the eye, we had a bit of a disagreement, didn't we, Jordan?
It was heated.
It was heated.
Prime of the year, but...
Which means, which is going to be the runner-up, not the second runner-up like you stated, but the actual runner-up.
I don't know how these things work.
So I really want it to be the Sony 85mm 1.4 that wins this competition, but I will give in to you because I love the other lens that you're going to choose. So we'll put the Sony 85mm 1.4 G Master version 2 in second place.
It's basically a flawless lens, right? So I can understand your thinking on this. It might not be terribly innovative, but just rattle off why you like it.
Well, again, they made it even sharper, but more importantly, smaller and lighter than the original. And I liked the original, but I mean, like a lot of early G Masters, it left a lot to be improved. And so, yeah, they did it. They basically said everything that was wrong with that first lens, let's fix it, let's address it, let's make it smaller. Not necessarily any more affordable. It's a very expensive piece of glass, but it is just chef's kiss.
The undebatable, despite being incredibly debated earlier, best prime lens of the year, I'm giving it to the Sigma 500 f5.6.
Oh, that's a good lens. And I like that lens.
Here's my thinking on this one, okay? Because optically, basically perfect, just like the 85mm that you just talked about. But there's a lot of good portrait lens and all the different lens mounts. But it's been for the longest, well, okay, 2 years.
Sure.
But if you wanted a small, light, optically perfect telephoto that might have a slower aperture, you're buying Nikon. They're the only ones making it.
Yes.
And now, L-mount and E-mount shooters are getting that exact same benefit with the new Sigma lens. And once again, there's a theme here. It is way cheaper than those Nikon lenses. So if you're willing to forego a little bit of light and get extreme telephoto reach that is basically perfect edge to edge, the Sigma can achieve that. And that's why it's my prime lens of the year and by extension, your prime lens of the year.
I did love it. Okay, so we're just going to interject here a little bit. This is obviously pre-recorded because as you can tell from my voice, I'm dead sober, but in the video right now, probably not very much. But that's because for tonight's shoot, we have to set up some nice lighting to fill a large space. So I really like the power of the Westcott L120B lights. So here, you can crank it up. Jordan, let's get more power here and you can see. Oh, that's probably too much. I'm probably blown out. Let's bring that back down. We got a rapid box switch, 2x3 foot softbox, which will give us nice coverage. We're gonna set up some lights here so that we can get both Jordan and I lit really nicely. I'm sure it looks fantastic, but these are great lights for any of this kind of situation. They're even bi-color, so I can adjust them to match any ambient light that we're gonna have as well. If you guys wanna check these products out, just go to fjwestcott.com. You can see them for yourself or check the link in the description below. And remember, anytime that we want to record ourselves at our best or our worst, Westcott's our choice. They are PetaPixel's preferred lighting partner. Okay, Jordan, so because we're back in the house, we're going to do a classic house party drinking game.
Perfect.
We're going to do Flip Cup.
Okay. Will there be some sort of photography bent to this game?
Of course there will. We're going to do Flip Cup with film canisters. I honestly don't know if this is even physically possible. I have no idea.
No
so
one's done it
you gotta
before.
flip it up onto its front like this, okay? We're gonna do best of 3, so possibly
Are we both
3.
playing at the same time?
Yes,
trying
same
to,
time.
Okay.
And it's gonna be a race, and the first person to get 3, not in a row, 3 successful flips wins that match, okay? But if I get a flip and I succeed, you have to take a drink.
Okay.
If you get one, I'll take a drink,
Gimme,
okay?
gimme,
All right,
gimme.
you're gonna be flick film, don't forget. All right, and I'll be unnamed. 3, 2, 1, go. This might be like physically impossible, I was just saying.
Son of
Hey, drink, 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 oh, drink, drink, drink.
This is not my calling.
Hey, drink
Oh,
again.
drink.
Oh, no, oh, no, I got it too, we both drank.
Do you want for Chris?
Oh, first match won. First match won.
What's our next category?
Camera? Video camera?
Video camera sounds more right than those other ones you said.
Next one's video camera.
Oh man, things I have strong opinions with. Staying safely in the frame now, I would like to talk about the best video cameras of the year. And it has been an absolutely incredible year if you're a hybrid shooter. I mean, cameras like the ZVE-10 II, the XM5 from Fujifilm, both are like very legitimate, affordable cameras if you're just getting into video. But I'm gonna go up market because it's way more fun. So my number 3 is going to be the Nikon Z6 III. The first time we saw a partially stacked sensor. And why would you put a partially stacked sensor in a camera? Well, it's the fast readout that gives us some of the excellent video features that this camera offers, like oversampled 4K 60, the ability to do 4K 120, but also awesome assist tools. This thing has waveforms. It's very affordable. It shoots N-Log, and if you want, you can use those brand new Nikon and Red LUTs together, which give you just video, and it does raw video. It does everything at a very reasonable price. For most enthusiast video shooters, this is the camera to buy, but it's only our number 3.
Okay, but number 2 is a camera that I have personally seen pointed at my face for the majority of 2024. It's the Panasonic GH7. Now, we love the Panasonic G9 II, which was very ironic because it was meant to be a photo camera, but it had a great sensor for video. But the GH7 then really expanded on that whole system and gave us the complete package. So, first off, you are getting 5.8K open gate. Gates.
You got this.
Yeah, and Jordan loves all the gates. He can go right through them super easily.
Just open, not closed.
Okay, yeah. And then also it's like a great body, fantastic controls.
Open great body.
I said great, but open great. It's an open great body. Oh my God. I like the tally lamp. The autofocus is effective. It's a great sensor. And
32-bit
yes,
audio.
which is recording us right now. Hopefully it's working. And honestly, Micro Four Thirds, this is one of the last holdouts where it's just really effective, really powerful, and gives you compact lenses that still give you great reach and lots of light. So, GH7 number 2, great camera, love it. And you only double press the shutter like 13.6% of the time now.
Okay, so I've been using the GH7 to shoot the majority of my show, but it doesn't bring in basically an entirely new class of camera the way that my number 1 pick, the Sony A9 III, does. Now, no, you need context.
The GH7 gave you the best year of her life. How could you do that?
Love that camera. But the A9 III might not be the perfect camera for me, but if you look back at the history of using like small DSLR and mirrorless, it was like, yes, the bodies are very compact. The rolling shutter was always the issue on those. But now we're getting something for the first time outside of a cinema camera with a global shutter, but also a very small body and absolutely incredible autofocus. And when do you need fast autofocus? For things that move fast. When is a global shutter really useful? When things are moving quickly. I just think the combination of those two things, if I was doing a documentary of, say, like car racing, animals, planet Earth is going to be eating this up because the ability to have
carpet documentaries.
Perfect autofocus with motion that is completely undistorted is going to be a huge win for filmmakers all over the world. They're excited for this camera. When it came out, I said it's a more exciting video camera than a photo camera, and I stand by it. Best video camera of the year. And I loved shooting with it even though nothing was moving fast. The dynamic range is actually quite good in video. All right, what's our next game, Chris? What's our next exciting challenge?
No, it's round 2, best 2 out of 3. This is your chance to tie things up. It's the same challenge. So
we'll play the game you're good at again.
Yeah, okay, ready?
Here we go. 3,
1, 2, 3, go. harder when you're drunk. Oh, so close. Oh, drink.
This is my least favorite game we've ever done.
Come on.
11 years.
What?
Hate
Come
this.
on. What? Come on. Come on. Hey, drink again.
If Alex was here, this wouldn't have
Drink
happened.
again.
This is not good content.
Oh, what do you mean it's not good?
This is bad content.
Hey!
Stupid game.
Okay, Jordan, so let's just cover the tally of games won. Not to glow.
The math isn't actually that
so
difficult.
So the viewers at home can stay abreast of the situation. So I won the first game, and I thoroughly trounced you on the second game. So, you know, I planned 3 games.
Seems like we still have 4 categories. So
I don't know. Maybe I give you a sporting chance. We'll see. Anyways, let's get to our best camera.
Yeah, let's just get to our best camera. Let's do that right now. Camera of the year.
Okay, so I've got that assault on tape, and I'm going to use that at some sort of opportune moment in the future when I deem it
Blackmail away. It was totally
perfect.
Deserved.
It was totally on camera. So, best camera of the year. This is a tough one because there again were so many interesting.
It was a great year for cameras.
Bodies this year. I mean, we had very specialized cameras like the Sony A9 III, the Canon EOS R1, but
Pentax 17.
Pentax 17, yeah, why not? But they are specialized cameras, right? So if we're going to talk about good general purpose cameras, I like the Nikon Z52. I think it's probably the most full-featured APS-C camera, but it still has the old sensor.
X106.
Yeah, X106. That was a good camera that came out. But I
focal length.
think we're going to give it to the Fujifilm GFX 100S version 2. So I mean, this is an interesting camera because we're getting slightly lower price point. We're getting that fantastic 100 megapixel sensor, latest Fuji algorithms for focusing. I mean, these are all very positive things, and it kind of brings it into probably the most pleasant medium format camera to use at the best price.
Yeah, I mean, the GFX 102 was all about speed and video features, which are not things that system excels at. So if you just want a great, well-rounded, medium format photo camera, then
portable.
the 100S2 is absolutely the way to go. Second best camera of the year. I pled my case on my knees. I did my best for you, the people who are looking for an affordable, well-rounded camera, but alas, I failed. Coming in at second place is the Nikon Z6 III, probably one of the best, certainly the best affordable hybrid camera out there. I could tackle professional video work, professional photo work. That partially stacked sensor gave it real speed benefits. We finally saw an upgrade on a Nikon EVF, making it actually surpass its competition in that same kind of price range. Autofocus was improved. I mean, I loved using this camera for video, and then I switched it over to photo. I was like, oh, damn, there's nothing else I want here as well. For its price, I think it's absolutely best in class right now. So I guess it's second best camera of the year.
You and the entire world agree. Best camera of 2024. We should get you like horse blinders. What do you think? Something like this?
For what reason?
So you stay looking at the right camera and only the right camera. Anyways, okay. Next time.
Oh no, I looked at the wrong camera again.
See, yeah, exactly my point. All right, so best camera 2024. This is like a passionate plea for me. I'm not thinking with my head, I'm thinking with my heart. I know the entire world loves
I
the
thought with
Z6
my
III,
head.
as you always think with
Jordan,
your head.
your buddy,
And
thought with his head.
I always think with my heart. But I'm gonna go with the Canon EOS R5 Mark II, okay? I mean, this is a camera that basically overshadowed a flagship camera release. You know, it is, I prefer it because although the Z6 III is insanely versatile, and of course it's good value for the dollar, and that's always a big plus for people, the Canon EOS R5 Mark II is more a camera that I would choose for myself as a photographer because it handles beautifully. They always have fantastic ergonomics. The autofocusing on Canon, they've come so far, and the R5 Mark II, although it doesn't quite have the same fast scanning sensor, gets all the new benefits. It's got the sport-specific autofocus, the eye control. I mean, it's really very, very intuitive. It's also very innovative. On top of that, we do actually have a decently fast scanning sensor, sensor. But most importantly, it's at 45 megapixel, which I think is kind of a sweet spot for a lot of my photography.
Yeah. Here's to the best.
Yes, cheers. Let's put our drinks down. I think that's the safest choice. Okay. So this is a classic team building game because I feel like our team needs some building after the senseless violence.
No, you're just being a dick.
The atrocity that you committed against me.
On you.
Yeah, you committed atrocity upon me. So, classic team building game. Levi, we need his help for this. Okay, so Levi is going to shout out.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah, I know you still like him. He's gonna shout out head, and we have to touch our head, and then he'll say knees or shoulders or butt.
Wait, he's going to say it in that exact order every single
whatever
time?
order he wants. He'll just say butt,
Oh, God.
shoulders, head, knees. You got to follow along. And then at some point, surprising us, he will say bone, and then the first person to grab the bone.
We're just going to coconut our heads. That's all this game is for, right?
Well,
All right, here we go, folks. Here we go. Butt. Ankles. Shoulders. Ankles. Chest. Bone.
oh!
I realize the point of this game is just to squat the entire time now. I get it. Stupid game.
You know what? If this is the worst game we've ever played, it's perfect because our next category, it's time for the worst. Let's do worst lens of 2024.
That was a lot. Worst time.
Worst time? Are you at what? Worst
I'm
time?
having the worst time.
No, worst lens, Jordan. Worst lens. We don't do watch reviews. So, this was a really good year for lenses.
I'm not giving you a comedy point for that.
No, I know. I'm drunk. Okay. Now I got to start over again.
Okay, worst lens.
There was a lot of great lenses this year.
Wonderful lenses.
But there were a couple bad lenses. Not many.
Let me say, this is the least debating we've ever done about a category.
Oh, which we'll get to. Don't spoil it.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it. But there was another one that we brought up, which I got to admit, I was pretty disappointed in the Panasonic 28 to 200 millimeter, because it's 7.1 at the long end. It's quite a slow lens. And at the same time, if you're like peeking over the fence at E-mount there,
Yeah.
Tamron's making a 28 to 200. What's that? Oh, it's generally about a stop faster than our lens, and it's about the same size. Or you could get a 28 to 300, an extra 100 millimeters.
Or the
for
Nikkor
the
20
same
to
price.
400 and just double your focal length. I know it's not for the same system.
It was a bunch of great super zooms,
Yes.
and this is the one that definitely stood out the least. It's a good video lens.
But optically, it was kind of fair to middling as well. It didn't blow anybody away. But the worst lens of 2024, there is
Undoubtedly.
zero debate. And this is rare. Usually, we really have to think about this, and we debate, like, but what about this? What about that?
What obscure brand are we going to pick out this
Damn,
year?
it's still Panasonic. I'm so sorry. But you guys brought it yourself. It's the
knew it.
26 millimeter f8 pancake lens that came out with the Panasonic S9. This lens is almost single-handedly responsible for diminishing the S9.
Reputations, yes.
Yes, which turned out to actually be a fun, usable camera. But
When the 18 to 40 came out, much later. Let's look at the competition, okay?
Right.
We reviewed the Canon 28 millimeter f2.8, more than 2 stops brighter than this
Yes.
lens, basically the same size. It has
Yep.
autofocus. It's very good optically.
Yep.
The 28 to 2 feels like, remember those lens cap lens?
he means 26,
26.
f8,
It's been
actually.
a long night. They know. You all know.
Very different with 28 to f2, which would also be a fantastic lens. I mean, Fujifilm's was really nice. Their 18 mil f2 was really nice. But anyway.
What's going on?
I don't know. But anyway, this 26 f8, I mean, you have to manually focus it. If you used it in very, very specific situations, you could kind of get a photograph in focus. But otherwise, there was just no point. I mean, I would have rather had a lens cap. I would have rather had a lens cap with a hole drilled in it like a pinhole.
Because at least you're getting a fun pinhole effect.
Yeah.
I mean, Panasonic realized that. They were including the lens free, but even then, people were like,
It's like $200 if
I'd
you buy
rather
yourself
have a
lens.
body cap that's fully sealed.
Anyways.
You can't even put a lens cap on it, or filters.
It is a lens cap.
What is it?
That thing sounds like a piece of crap. Chins.
Shins.
No.
That's, no, disqualified.
Oh, stop it, Shins.
He doesn't even know what parts of his
Lower
body.
back. Upper back. Head. Behind the knees. Calves. Upper back. Heads. Butt. Oh no!
What?
Oh, butt? He said butt? Oh, you killed the whole thing. Oh, man, okay. I mean, look, it was a great competition.
New co-host.
We can play again for fun.
Phone a friend.
But
I'll finish the episode with you.
I think this is my year. Okay. All right, come back. We've got more worse things to talk about. Okay, Jordan, it's time for something very near and dear to your heart.
Yes.
Video, but
Love video.
But the worst video.
Don't like that kind of video.
And this is a very interesting choice that I think we're going to make because I saw you use this video camera and it actually brought you immeasurable joy.
Okay.
But at the same time, when I was looking at it from more of an, like an objective standpoint, right?
Right. Soulless.
Yeah, soulless, callous, robotic, inhuman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Keep
Yeah.
going.
I was like, why does this exist? It's not practical, it's expensive, it doesn't make sense, it's been delayed forever and it's still garbage, but it brought you pure joy. So yes, tell them what the worst
So
camera
it is the
video
creatively
camera is.
named Kodak Super 8 camera.
Brilliant naming. I don't know
So
where you
now
got
you
that.
might be like, wait a second, that's not a video camera.
course
It has
it is.
a video tap going out to the monitor so you can look at a digital screen while you're shooting analog film, and the quality of that video tap is bad. It brings out some creative options, like being able to shoot above your head, below your head with the fully articulating screen and things like that, but just a bunch of weird oversights, like it has an HDMI tap out, that's great, I could hook it into a big monitor, but then it removes all of your camera settings, so you can't meter, or basically you can just focus with it.
Absolutely, and like the interesting, like having the video sensor to give you the LCD.
It's not a sensor.
It's a video display.
Oh, the video
Yes,
display. Okay,
it is a sensor.
the sensor is film.
Yes. So to
through-
have a
it
video,
goes
the video
cluck,
sensor that gives you the video feed to the actual LCD display panel, that had like hairs on it. So it's funny, a Super 8 analog camera, the hair is supposed to be on the actual film transfer itself. But
And it's only on one frame.
Yeah, but it's actually like jammed in the EVF, or the LCD panel, I mean. Like,
Okay, so we've talked about some annoyances with this.
You can't
this
hold
thing
it.
is $5,500. So we're
Yes.
talking to our buddy Alex Mitchell, who should be refereeing this, but COVID. And he's just like, yeah, man, you can get like a pretty professional setup for $500.
Yeah, for
a tenth the price.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not comfortable to hold, and the back panel's
You
got
feel
like
cool
a
when you
big
hold
gap, like all the way around. Anyways, like
It feels cheap.
it does feel cheap, and I just don't feel like it has much of a market. And that doesn't mean it cannot be a fun creative tool, because you enjoyed it. You shot some home movies with it. It inspired you. But I think a $250 used camera would have done the same.
The medium of Super 8 film does not get any worse. I loved it. The particular device I was using to capture those images is the worst video camera of the year that shoots film.
But it sounds great.
That's
What about the memories with your children captured?
Oh yeah, that was good too, right?
oh my god! Honestly, I welled up when I saw it. But yeah,
There you go. That's worth $5,000 right there.
this is not going to be in the video because it undermines my whole point.
Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Is our friendship ready?
Hi, Penny. He wanted to bring the dog down for
It's a
this.
terrible idea.
Okay. Okay, go get this bone. Go get that one, okay? All right, Levi. Go for it. It's adorable.
Now it's closer to you. You have an advantage.
It's adorable, okay? Yes, okay.
Okay, Penny.
All right. Go play. Go get your bone. Go get this bone.
All right. Chest, butt, chest, butt, lower back, upper back, reach for the sky, knees, toes, bum.
You fool! You fool! You've fallen for it as well. Kill it.
All right, there you go. It's time for the worst camera of 2024.
Weirdly, this is the one everyone waits for.
Yeah, and it's, look, we're going to try to make this as compelling as possible, but if worst video camera was like a burr, 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 this is more like a burr, burr.
I think worst lens was the brah, brah, brah.
You're right, okay. What is it, Jordan?
It is the, what did they call it? The Rolly what? 35 AF.
No, wrong. It's the Rollei 35. They gave me so much
seems-
about it on the comments.
It seems like you know more about this camera than me, so take it away, Chris.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna roll my eyes at the Rollei because it's very.
Wow.
I know. You're I had a happy day.
That's why you're the host, man.
It's gorgeous from a distance. I mean, you got to give Rolly the credit. It is a beautiful camera. It matches the aesthetic, even though it's slightly larger. But yes, when you actually get it in your hands, it feels cheap. It feels weird. The fact that like when you're trying to expose to the viewfinder, you don't actually get an exposure tool. I know a lot of the early Rolleis had that as well, but it was equally disappointing on those cameras. And having an LED inside, that was done in the past on the vintage cameras.
So you can meter your scene.
Yes.
Like when you were
Yes.
explaining this to me, because I'm not taking pictures with it, I'm
Yes.
like, Chris, this design that you're talking about, to me, as a casual film shooter, very rarely, just
Yeah.
sounds tedious and awful.
Yes.
So correct me.
No, you're absolutely right. Because it was honestly a lot like your Kodak 8mm Super experience, where
Made you cry?
yeah, but not in a good way. You're right. In a place where analog cameras have to be either very good or affordable to get people into this, the Rollei is just kind of like a weird luxury. And look, a lot of the issues with it, I think Mint is going to rectify, but a lot of the design issues they just can't change. And
Yeah, it's part of the camera. It looks like we despise film, right?
whoa, we really analog this year.
Yeah, but that's not the case at all. Like, I think it's really exciting that film is coming back into prominence. It's that so many of these cameras designed to take advantage of that, I think just feel rushed and unfinished
Yes.
at this point. And I would like to see some more like fully thought out film cameras, or just completely rebuild some classic models.
Sure, absolutely. What comes to mind for me is the Pentax 17. Actually, they did a great job with that camera. I know it's half frame, but I think that actually makes a lot of sense when
It
you're trying
knows
to get
its
people.
audience.
Yes, when you're trying
It's
to get
not
people
us.
into analog for the first time, and it actually was nice to use.
So we like film, but we don't like
like film.
half-baked film cameras.
Yes, I feel like with
That's a cohesive narrative, right?
Yeah, there you go. Let's just use that instead.
It's over, right?
No.
Okay, so I got absolutely destroyed this time, both in terms of the games and my liver. But you know what? I honestly feel like the audience's sympathies, much like the first Rocky movie, will be with the loser in
Wow.
this case.
You're going to compare yourself to Rocky?
Yeah, man. I went the distance. Chris, we appreciate the viewers.
We
right?
do appreciate the viewers. Not only that, but we also appreciate the people who help us make this possible. So Levi Holwell, I'm looking at you right now. Always here, like every year to help us shoot these things. We really appreciate that. And Alex Mitchell, who's here with us in spirit.
Yeah.
But he's alive. He's fine. Like, like in spirit, like he's thinking about us. Big thanks to Penny for helping us out as well.
Penny did not help us. Penny got in the
Okay.
way. Thanks for watching. You should listen to the PetaPixel podcast. We post it on this very channel, or you can find it by searching for PetaPixel podcast.
We're gonna talk
on all
about
of
our
your favorite
experience
podcasting apps. This will-
tonight.
yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
We have to record a
to
podcast
come out on
tomorrow
Wednesday.
morning. Oh God. And if you want to support us, there's now PetaPixel memberships.
Yes.
$3 a month. You can support not
get-
just Chris and I, but you can support the whole team and get no ads on the PetaPixel website.
Yes, you read
And there's-
articles without ads. And you can, there's other bonuses as well coming out. So for members who have that account, you are going to get some cool stuff coming to you. So yes, you'll definitely want to check it out. We'd appreciate that support there too. And it's not just for us, it's for the entire editorial team. And they're probably sober right now and very intelligent and very articulate, unlike us. So if you want to support their behavior instead of ours, that's a great way to do it.
That's an awesome way to do it. God help us all. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Let's get to our best camera.
let's just get to our best camera. Let's do that right now. Camera of the year. Look at your eye.
Oh, man. That stays in.
Yeah, that's in.
So the world can see what kind of a monster you are.
Hang
you can
on.
put that in your list.
Yeah, putting it in the list.